understanding value versus getting the best deal. Did you know there are 7 key factors that you need to understand and master in order to manifest anything in your life? Well, guess what? I'm going to teach it to you. I'm creating a free training that's happening at the end of April. So if you're interested, head on over to momisincontrol.com/join. And the first key factor, I'm going to give you a little heads up right now, is getting super crystal clear on what it is that you want. Yes, I know this can be overwhelming. So guess what? When you join, head on over to momisincontrol.com/join, fill out your name and your email. I'm going to gift you my alignment PDF. This is curriculum taken from my mastery program that I'm gifting you just for registering for this free training. And during the free training that will happen at the end of April, and yes, there will be a replay, I will walk you step by step through the process, what these 7 key factors are, giving you resources and actionable practical steps that you can take today, well, not actually today, but on that day, to take back control of your time and your parenting. The secret here is once you understand how to manifest, you can transfer these skills to any area of your life. So if you're ready to finally stop just listening to the podcast, but start implementing and taking the next step, then head on over to momisincontrol.com/join. I am heated up about this discussion. So in the last few weeks, I have talked to many people from all walks of life. And for whatever reason, my brain has been thinking, because remember I told you I think in podcast topics, about value. And a lot of times people will say to me, Heather, coaching is expensive. And I say, yes, it is. And they're like, but I can't afford it. So we have to reassess why we're saying we can't afford something. And I'm not going to sit here and say everyone can afford it if it's a priority for them. What I'm going to say is, are you actually invested in the results that you desire? Because if you are, and you truly can't afford to go to the next level, then you have to do the work with the resources you already have access to. And this is where mindset comes into play, because we do all have Google at our fingertips. We can literally Google anything, but the magic happens in the action. So I'm going to tell you a few stories from different people that I've spoke to this week. One random person who was talking about their house and how they had this issue with their pool. And when they purchased the home, they, had engineers and certain people help them with their pool, but then they had all of these issues. And then 5 years later, they had to rip up the whole pool and all this concrete because the first time they did it, it wasn't done properly. So now, the second time around, instead of hiring the exact same people that were quote-unquote experts, now they're talking to other people and asking them, digging deeper and going, why do you think this happened? Why do you think this happened? Instead of just patching the problem with a Band-Aid solution, they're like, I want to get to the core and the root, right? Because when you ask a professional why or how are they going to solve the problem for you? What's the value that they're going to bring to the table? You have to realize that everybody is going to have a different opinion, and you just have to find somebody that fits for you and that feels right. So let me ask you this. Have you ever paid for, let's just say, a one-off session of sorts? So I'm talking about therapy or an energy healing or some type of, maybe you've gone to physio or chiro, and you weren't actually all in. Someone said, go talk to this person, go do this, go do that. And you dabbled in it and you tried it, but that person didn't actually solve your problem for you because they weren't fully committed and invested in those results. But let's just say you walked into the therapist office and they said, okay, instead of charging you $100 today for this one-off session, I'm going to charge you $1,000 and we're going to do 20 sessions. And we're going to get to the bottom of this problem. You have to make a decision between spending $100 that day or $1,000. You might say to yourself, I don't have $1,000. But what if that person said to you, that's okay, give me $100 a week for the next 10 weeks? What you're doing is actually energetically committing to the $1,000. You're not just committing to the $1,000. So whatever $100 represents to you or $1,000, that's what you're energetically committed to. So people will ask me, like, do you do one-off sessions? And I say, no, not at the level that I'm at, because I only help people who are at a certain level who want results. The people that are willing to do the work, to show up, and to see the results so that they can create the space and the freedom that they crave in their life. Because for too often, they were doing the one-off sessions, going from here to there, trying to get somebody to solve their problem, but they weren't fully committed to the solution. I'm going to tell you another story. So I was speaking with somebody else the other day, and this person is moving. And they had a big, long to-do list of everything that they needed. And this is an older individual. And they're like, I need help with cleaning. I need somebody to move my boxes. I need, there's, cracks in the foundation. Oh, I need to paint. I need to do this. I need to do that. And this individual had the mindset that they had to do absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. They're like, there's no way I'm ever going to get this done. So what happened to them is they took time off work to do the work. They asked for help from family and friends that were doing subpar and spent 10 times as much time, energy, and frustration trying to solve a problem. They refused to hire any experts or professionals to help them with the plumbing or the foundational cracks or just hiring a painter or anything like that. And so what happened was they took time off work, so they were losing money there. And they were also stressed, overwhelmed, and burnt out. So then they went to a therapist. They were spending money on their coping strategies, whether it was alcohol or shopping, or maybe they were sleeping, or their literal body and mind were deteriorating because of the stress. So let's back up for a second. Let's just take this scenario as an example. You have your to-do list, right? It feels overwhelming. What happens if you outsource as much as possible? Just because you can do it doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can paint doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can, fix a toilet or Google or YouTube how to fix a toilet doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can mow your lawn doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can spend a week trying to landscape doesn't mean you have to. Now, if these things bring you joy and you're foaming at the mouth and you're so excited to do them, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I would love to take time off of work to check all these things off the list, then that's awesome. If it lights you up and it brings you joy. But if you're going down this list and you're like, I can never do this, like I'm never going to have enough time, it's going to kill me, it's going to run me ragged, you have to outsource. But we get in this lack mindset and this lack mentality, and you start price shopping, or you look for the best deal. You're Googling for hours for the damn discount codes, and you're asking friends and family for help. Well, one, great, ask friends and family for help, but guess what? That you can only call in so many favors, because eventually those people are going to ask for favors back, and there is expectation that you scratch their back, they're going to scratch your back, right? So be mindful that you are utilizing somebody's time and talent, and they're going to want to be compensated for that, regardless if they're doing it out of, the graciousness of their heart. But when they call you up and they're like, hey, now I need help from you, you have to be willing and ready to stop and drop everything on the dot, on the dime, whatever the heck I'm trying to say. And at the drop of a hat, that's what I was trying to say, at the drop of a hat, and do something for them. And I'm all for that, guys. But typically, the people that I attract are ambitious women who have a lot on their plate and you're trying to make your life easier. So I'm talking about physical life events here, but think about how you do this every single day in your business, in your life, managing your family, where it's like all on you and you refuse to ask for help because you're trying to save $1. Now, getting in the mindset of delegating and hiring out also requires you to be vulnerable. So if I'm about to delegate something in my business that's going to cost me $1,000 a month, okay? It could literally start with $100 a month, and that could scare the crap out of you. But let's just say it's $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month or whatever. It all depends on the level of business that you're in. You have to remember, what is the ROI on this investment? So when people work with me and they say, holy shit, I'm going to puke, I can't handle this, nope. I ask them these questions. How long has this been a problem for you? They'll tell me. How have you been coping with this problem? They'll tell me. And then I literally add up how much this problem has already costed them. So let's just use the example of shopping or overeating. Or let's use the example of stress and therefore they're overwhelmed and they're not able to make as much profit in their business. But guys, the thing is, you cannot put a dollar value on your mental health or your child's mental health. So when you are price shopping, looking around saying, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, ask yourself, am I living in a place of quality? Quality. I would much rather pay for better education for my child than the years of therapy they're going to have to go through because of the shitty educational system that they were in. Or I would much rather pay for higher quality food that we bring into our house and less on eating out. I would much rather pay for personal development for myself and my family and invest in that than go on vacation every single year if it's not available in that timeline. So the point of this conversation is we all want the vacations. We all want to run away. We all want to get away. We all want nice clothes. Everyone wants all of these things, but you have to ask yourself right now where you are in your life. You're going to have the big dreams, big wants, big desires. Are you invested? Are your investments of quality? Or are you just throwing noodles at the wall with your money, your time, and your energy and getting little to no results in return? If you are, you have to start detoxing the services and providers in your life, or you have to start asking them hard, uncomfortable questions. How is this going to provide the solution that I'm looking for? And if your gut is telling you that it's time to move on or jump to the next level, then do that. Quality, quality, quality. I would much rather pay 10 times more for something, get it done right the first time, and then never have to replace it again. Also, another thing that inspired this conversation was the renovation we just did on our house, because we hired an awesome kick-ass contracting company. And we knew them personally, and we also knew that they did good work. But with good work came a premium service. And with premium service also comes premium prices. But with premium prices, I know they're going to get the job done right, and they got it done on time. So when you guys are asking me, oh my gosh, how are you handling this renovation right now? The answer is I deal with high quality professionals. And if I think something is up, I hire quick and I fire quick. So don't let people dick you around, and be mindful that you are in control of your investments. So trust your gut, have the uncomfortable conversations, and start delegating and asking for quality service. Big Life Journal. Have you heard of them? Are you secretly hoping your children do as you say and not as you do? Well, guess what? I've teamed up with Big Life Journal to help you give your children the tools and strategies that they need to live their big life. Their growth mindset journals empower children to face their challenges head on, think positive, and embrace mistakes. You can also check out their printables and activity cards. It doesn't matter if your child is a toddler or entering high school. Discovering how to live in a growth mindset is a lifelong skill we can all learn more about. To check them out, go to